This is the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio. I'm Kevin Schola in the new Full Battle Rattle studios.
And my family is my greatest source of support to be able to do that. For me, the first key to a solid foundation and taking steps towards success, being able to seize the day, is having that family support.
A disgusting display from a magazine geared at kids. Recently, Teen Vogue published an article on how to have anal sex. This is not Vogue, Teen Vogue. The good news is people are fighting back, including the activist mommy. Elizabeth Johnston is an activist vlogger and champion for families. She and her husband, Patrick, who's a medical doctor, speak at conferences and events and lead a pro-life ministry to rescue children from abortion. Elizabeth homeschools her 10 children. Today, she's here to school liberals of their sick behavior. Stay tuned for our talk with the activist mommy, Elizabeth Johnston. Plus, we'll have the latest national and Alaska headlines in Sarah Palin News. We'll visit the Crow's Nest with Tanya Crow in California. And a brand new installment of Liberty and Legacy with Tamara Colbert is coming up from Texas. Welcome to the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio, available at mamagrizzlyradio.com and now available at sarahpalin.com by clicking the More tab. The Palin Update is sponsored by Full Battle Rattle. Full Battle Rattle, helping veterans suffering from combat-related disabilities through the healing power of music. Learn more at facebook.com/fullbattlerattle.abq. She is the activist mommy, an awesome Christian and patriot who brings important issues to the forefront with humor and creativity, but with a serious message at the same time. Her site is just the best. And today, Elizabeth Johnston, the activist mommy, is here with us on MGR. Elizabeth, welcome to the program. We appreciate you joining us tonight.
Thanks so much for the invitation.
Well, if people haven't checked out your site yet, they really have to. Great videos. You hit on so many topics, and you do it with a smile and with a lot of great humor, and it's really wonderful. I said, I have to get her on the show.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been a wild ride the last year.
Well, so many things to talk about and so many things that you're doing and issues that you're tackling. I know the pro-life issue is just huge for you and your family. Let's put this out here. You have 10 children and your husband, so, together, right, a football team and a coach. And
that's right. We don't just talk pro-life. We try to live it. And so, yes, we are blessed to have 10 children.
And, Donald Trump talks about high or low energy, with 2 kids and my dogs and my jobs and everything else. I'm tired as it is. So to see you smiling and fired up with 10 of them, I appreciate that. Good job.
Thank you. I assure you I am plenty tired. I'm married to the Energizer Bunny, I think. He never has enough children and never has enough to do. So
there you go. All hands on deck. So
yes.
Recently, though, there's one particular topic that you went after, and one particular group that you were talking about, and that is Teen Vogue. And I've used this expression so much over the last 8 years or so, the whole Obama times. Shocked but not surprised, and it's an unfortunate expression because I'm really not anymore. I mean, everything I hear, it's just par for the course. So quickly tell everybody what Teen Vogue put out, the article that they put out, and what you think about it.
Wow. Teen Vogue published an article, a how-to guide on anal sex. They were teaching their target audience, which is teenagers ages 12 to 18, how to sodomize one another. This was incredibly reckless and outrageous. I mean, the Center for Disease Control states that anal sex is the riskiest sexual behavior for transmitting HIV to men and women, and it makes HIV, a woman, 17 times more likely to contract HIV. And this author, Gigi Engel, just recklessly writes this very sensational, provocative article where she's just very flippant about, excuse me for the terminology, but oh yeah, butt sex is a lot of fun. And 12-year-olds, can you even fathom? And parents are just outraged. When I learned about it, just really quick, went out into my backyard, filmed one of my videos, just 2 minutes long on my iPhone. No big deal. Didn't have any idea that it would turn out to be so huge. And it has 11.6 million views. And I mean, Fox and Friends has covered it, and Franklin Graham shared it. It's been on just about every media outlet that it could be on at this point. And we started Operation #PullTeenVogue. And feel free to go to my Facebook page, which is just the Activist Mommy, and you'll see the video. It's pinned to the top of the page, and click share on that with the #PullTeenVogue. And we are now putting out advertisers contact information to advertisers to please ask them to pull their ads from Teen Vogue.
Well, a couple things, and I think you explained it very well. Let's just reiterate again, though. You did it twice. Let's reiterate it again. This is Teen Vogue, folks, not Vogue. It'd be bad enough in Vogue, right? I mean, just ridiculous that this is even out there. And, the mainstream left will tell you that it's just wonderful and par for the course. But this is Teen Vogue. These are kids that this is geared to. And, you have parents that are busy as can be, and they're going and getting this subscription. I mean, it's bad enough the ones who think it's fine, but you have others who are going to get it and never, they're thinking it's about makeup and what to wear to back to school, and
exactly.
They have this. Yeah.
Teen Vogue is supposed to be a fashion magazine for teenage girls, and we learn through the process of Operation Pull Teen Vogue that the digital editor of this magazine targeted to teenage girls is actually a gay male. And he responded to our campaign by posting a picture of himself on Twitter kissing his African-American boyfriend and shooting us all a bird with a rainbow-painted fingernail.
Yeah. And then
that's what they think. That's what they think about concerned parents who are sick of the hypersexualization of our children.
And then you wonder, is that the uber bullying in a microcosm, right? Then you wonder why gays or blacks or those who are actually for President Trump or conservative are sometimes scared to say anything, because that's the type of threats they receive as well.
Oh, yes. You would not believe if you read my Twitter the kinds of responses and hate that I have received. It's just part of it, and the tolerance Gestapo is certainly the most intolerant subset of our population. That's becoming very obvious.
Well, and we love your style with it. I mean, you do it with a smile. It's very Palin-esque, as I like to say. So that's good stuff. And
Thank you.
You're welcome. You mentioned about the author too of this particular piece. I mean, you have a medical background. It's one thing if you're speaking about. I like to think I know a few things in certain areas and next to nothing in others, but I don't go and pontificate about those I don't know anything about. You want to talk sports? Yes. Greek architecture, not so much. And same deal here. Who is this girl even writing it? I mean, and as you said, I think recklessly. Right. You said recklessly. That's a great way to put it. But again, I mean, you see this in a much more less harmful way. What's been going on in society over the last years since folks in our age bracket have become parents. The old thing our parents and grandparents used to say, right? What do you jump off a bridge if your friend does it? Well, now it seems that's what's happening with parents. I mean, everybody just, any movie you want to go to because your friends are doing it. Oh, any sleepover, even though I don't know who the parents are, who's in the basement, go ahead. And I've seen this firsthand through parenting and through coaching, and it's unbelievable how I think that more kids will probably be affected by this Teen Vogue piece, not by activist parents who are saying, isn't this wonderful, but probably from apathetic parents who just think the magazine's safe.
Yeah, my Twitter feed was filled with liberals saying, hey, kids are going to have sex anyway, so we have to educate them. First of all, this was an article on sodomizing one another. And secondly, no, wait a minute. Do we say kids are going to do drugs, so let's teach them how to shoot up heroin?
Right.
Why is it that if we are asking our children to live according to a higher standard, and we're saying, don't ruin your life with drugs, why don't we say, don't ruin your life by having sex outside of marriage? Furthermore, Gigi, who wrote this article, she initially, when she posted the article, did not even include anything in this article about safe sex. Then, when she came under such extreme pressure, they included a sentence or two about how you need to wear condoms while engaging in anal sex,
Yeah.
which even that in and of itself was not even sufficient. There was no warning about the dangers, about how this is the riskiest type of sexual activity, nothing like that. I mean, this is coming from the left. They're supposed to be all about safe sex education, right? And yet they recklessly print this article, and Gigi Engel, the author, is not even, a degreed sex educator. She's a journalist. She's just a sensational leftist, I love sex journalist who likes to write really, really wild and spicy, sensational things on sex.
Right.
I mean, just go to this woman's Twitter feed. You will not believe your eyes. And what Teen Vogue has done is completely unforgivable. And parents need to go to their stores, to their library, and ask if they carry Teen Vogue. If they do, demand that they remove it from the shelves and that they never carry Teen Vogue, because Teen Vogue is a danger to children. They pander obscenity to minors, which is against the law.
Well, you talk about the left. Remember, this is a movement that supports the likes of, say, Elliot Spitzer, a man who, went out and made sure that he requested no condoms for anal sex with all of the hookers that he saw along the lines, and everybody thought he was wonderful, too, on the left. So, again, shocking, but not surprising. The great news is that your website is wonderful, and this whole Teen Vogue thing is what has been making the headlines lately and driving people there, but so much to see there and great stuff. And the religion of peace, My Bacon Bit, is my personal favorite. You talk about the what the real truth of Islam is and what the left tries to paint it as, all along while eating lots of bacon, and it is really funny. And in a house that has dogs and kids and particularly Dad who loves bacon, it was good in many ways. But I cracked up and said, I can't wait to talk to you about this. I give you a huge thumbs up.
Oh, thank you. I had fun making that one.
It was so funny. And you have so many others. I mean, just to look at some of the others on here, and you don't even have to go into it. You just read the headline here and you see the craziness from the left. You have someone here who says that when girls are little or babies and they take their hair barrettes out of their hair, they go ahead and rip it out. Or if a boy undoes his onesie by, where he's got to go, that is a sign that both of them are probably transgender. I mean, this is absolute craziness.
Yeah, my gender insanity video, I think hit about 4.5 million, 5 million. And I'm very humbled and honored to be able to speak to these issues, the social issues of the day. We have a lot of conservative political pundits, but how many people do we have, especially females, who are willing to boldly take on the social issues of the day?
Yeah.
And I am a Christian, and I believe that God's Word has the answer for all issues in life, including all of the social ills that we are facing. And I believe that many of these social ills, such as abortion and the whole gender insanity movement and the LGBTQ attempt to silence conservatives and Christians and make us think like they think, the thought police, if you will, Islam indoctrination into public schools, the rise of pedophilia and just such immoral entertainment and hypersexualization of our youth. These are things that are such a direct threat to our kids and our grandkids' lives every day. And someone must speak boldly on these issues. And whoever does it has to be extremely courageous, because I cannot describe to you the kind of hatred and vitriol and graphic death threats and such that I receive as a result of standing on these issues. And I'm not going to be bullied. That is one thing about me. I will not be silent. I will go down speaking the message with courage. If they take me down, fine. But my kids will be able to say, my mom didn't sit idly by while they tried to completely change the fabric of our nation before our eyes, our good Christian nation right before our eyes. So that is what I've been doing for just a year now. The growth has been just all organic. There's been no team. There's been no machine behind what I'm doing. It is literally a mom. I'm a homeschool mom with 10 children. I'm a homemaker, and I have, at this point I have 250,000 Facebook followers, and that literally has happened from an iPhone that I scotch tape to my rearview mirror whenever I make a video.
Yeah. Well,
it's been crazy. It's been very organic. Nothing that I ever thought would happen, intended to happen. But it tells us that there's a need here and that people are hungry for a courageous voice to protect our families.
yeah, well, she's a homeschool mom whose classroom is bigger than some in-school teacher's class. Now, listen, though, what I really like mostly, though, and you touched on this, is the way you do it, the delivery, your humor, but you go for it and you go after them. And, a lot of times people are told, and we saw this, I believe, during the campaign, the people who were so quiet over President Trump when he was running. Yeah, sure, some felt for their safety. You don't want to rock through your window or you're an older person living alone. I get that. But others really felt, well, we can't say anything about Obama or Hillary. It's unchristian, like, these types of things. And, I've always countered with, you can even take Christianity out of it so we can appeal to the masses here on all levels. If your child's being pulled into a van by someone, you don't go over and say, sir, could you think about politely giving him back to me? Or maybe not. You do you fight savages the way they need to be dealt with. And when someone is harming the greatest exceptional country on earth in history, the way they have and continue to do so, the left, you have to fight back. And, that's why I think a lot of people are finding, churches that they're comfortable in where pastors aren't afraid to speak out. I think they're looking for, pro-life, Christian, pro-Christ groups, but that aren't afraid to say, hey, this is how I feel on the issue, and also have a little fun with it too. And there's nothing wrong with that. If it's you're saving lives. You're not just, these aren't just issues. You said it before. Whatever happens to us, but our kids will know that we fought for them. And when we say them, not just, the Johnston kids, the Shola kids, but all the kids. And, takes a village, Hillary. Well, this is our village.
Absolutely. I consider this to be the 11th hour in our country. I mean, are you kidding me? We've got men in women and girls changing rooms and bathrooms and locker rooms now, for crying out loud. We've got moms and daughters transitioning into the opposite sex now. We have got boys now winning sports meets and competitions that should be competing as males, and they're competing as girls. We've got Islam being foisted on our kids in public schools on taxpayer dime, while we can't even celebrate Christmas in the public schools.
You can't even say it.
This is the 11th hour, and this insanity would stop if parents would stop being bullied and stop being fearful, and they would rise up and be courageous. My platform alone is encouraging so many people and showing them, you know what? People are hungry for this. You can speak up, and people will listen and act on it.
I haven't been the target since the whole bathroom thing. Bristol Palin, was very outspoken about this. Governor Palin a little bit as well. And I tell you, our target by us, they have the grocery store too. We were there, I'd say 3-4 times a month. And I mean, it would be like, hey, I'm here. Let's do a whole grocery order. Hey, kids, you need clothes, toys. I mean, and you know what? But you see the hit they took, and I don't miss it one bit. And it's been a long time now. I haven't been back once.
You.
And other people,
good for you.
But you know what's shocking? Some people still don't even know about it. You'll when you tell them the Target thing, they're like, "What Target thing?" And these are like-minded folks that you have to say, like, "Wait, you don't know about this?"
$15 billion in losses. Think about that for a minute. I mean, the way they have completely thrown their stockholders under the bus in the name of leftist, progressive sexual ideology. $15 billion. And they still haven't changed their policy. I mean, they are going under. They're going to either change or they're going to say, We believe in this so much that we will lose the company over it.
Yeah, I guess so, and we'll put up a Chick-fil-A in a Hobby Lobby. So, Elizabeth, you're great. We could talk to you for hours. I do want to touch briefly before we let you run. Sarah Palin, obviously one of the most well-recognized and well-known champions for life in this country. And like you said, not just talking the talk from your standpoint, but walking the walk with, your huge family. But Governor Palin as well. And first of all, thank you for all you do in your pro-life ministry. And,
thank you.
Really to rescue, as you say, you're rescuing, again, you're rescuing children. You're saving lives here. And, as a Christian and just as an American, just tell everybody, if you could, what you do for the pro-life movement and why it's so important. And are you encouraged now with President Trump?
So, my husband is a medical doctor. He's a family practitioner, pediatrician, and so he has been, a leading, strong voice in the pro-life community. And we have, always done a lot of pro-life ministry. In fact, I have just returned 2 hours ago. We just pulled in to our home from Kentucky, where we were ministering and attempting to shut down the last remaining surgical abortion facility in Kentucky. There is only one left standing in the state of Kentucky. And as many of your listeners know, Kentucky has a strong Christian governor, Governor Matt Bevin. And so we are really praying that this last one will shut down, and that we can make just great headway from there, from Kentucky having no abortion facilities in its surgical abortion facilities, then move on to the next state. So yeah, we do work outside of abortion clinics. We offer help to the moms and to their babies, and we'll throw baby showers for the moms who decide to keep their baby. So often a mom just needs to hear, you have support. Yeah. You're not going to be alone. We're going to help you, even though you feel alone right now. And we will walk her through the whole process. And so it was wonderful to be with the people of Kentucky this last week, and it's just a passion of ours to rescue these babies being led to slaughter. 60 million children have been killed through abortion, and it must stop. And just as slavery was so strongly entrenched in our nation, and back then you never could have imagined that it would end, we believe abortion will end, and that we will look back on this atrocity like we look back on slavery and say, what in the world were we doing? What were we thinking? How could we have supported such an atrocity? I want to be on the right side of history.
Yeah.
I am on the right side of history, and those that are not are going to be very humiliated one day.
President Trump so far on the pro-life movement?
That's he can do a lot more, that's for sure. There's been, talk of Planned Parenthood being defunded and such, and there's a lot of confusion on that subject. And he has not yet done that. We certainly minimally should not be paying for these abortions, and but further than that, we should be resisting federal tyranny, judicial tyranny of Roe versus Wade, that has said that that it's okay to kill these babies. And so we definitely need to continue to work to pressure President Trump to bring this bloodshed to an end. We are going to give an account for the bloodshed that's taking place here. And so we're hoping that it's not going to be Republican politics as usual, kind of where they throw crumbs to the pro-lifers to keep us happy.
Yeah.
But that they actually are going to bring an end to the bloodshed.
Yeah, I mean, as Governor Palin posted just recently on social media, they're talking about it again, and it was McConnell or whoever was mentioning, the Planned Parenthood thing, and paraphrasing the governor, she said, "Well, just do it."
Oh, come on! Yes, this should have been done yesterday. This is simple. This is easy. This is life and death. I mean, this is not this is not optional. And so yeah, this needs to happen, and I want to encourage everyone, use your voice, your influence, in whatever manner that you can to to help us work to end abortion.
And as I always do on this program, when I mention Planned Parenthood, this after talking to Karen Handel, who exposed them nicely, and of course all the work Governor Palin has done, I always like to refer to them as evil Planned Parenthood. That just goes right in the sentence. So that's the way we roll with that.
Planned murderhood.
Yeah. Elizabeth, you're great. Thank you so much. That was wonderful to talk to you. And just could you tell people your website and how they can see all your great stuff?
Yes, the website's easy, activistmom.com. And I'm on YouTube and Twitter and Facebook as well as the Activist Mommy, but the website is activistmom.com. And I'd love to connect with you there.
All right. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. It was great to talk with you. God bless.
For more, please visit activistmom.com. It's really a great site, activistmom.com. Now it's time for Sarah Palin News headlines and more about Governor Palin. Palin calls on lawmakers to defund evil Planned Parenthood. Bad news for Debbie Wasserman Schultz. Join us in praying for all those involved in a tragic circumstance. A Marine dies just days after enlisting. Gary Sinise, a class act. An amazing tea party for a police officer. And an actually funny former SNL star tells the current cast what they're doing wrong. To read about all of these stories, visit the Mama Grizzly Radio Facebook page. To see any of the governor's posts in their entirety and to read her devotionals, visit Sarah Palin's Facebook page. Follow her on Twitter at Sarah Palin USA. And don't miss the news, sarahpalin.com. Now let's head to the crow's nest. Here's Tanya Crow.
Thanks, Kevin. So, we have a duly elected president, 45th president of the United States of America through our electoral college, and that is Donald J. Trump. I am so infuriated and frustrated that the powers that be, the elites, the media, the establishment is doing everything they can to delegitimize this vote, this democratic voice that was loud and clear November 8th, that we wanted this country to go in a different direction that it was going in. It's very clear that there's a lot of people out there who have a social justice agenda, who have an ideology, who have a ignorance and a fear of what people think that is motivating this denial that a whole group of Americans are in when it comes to what these ideologies are, and the evidence and the history that shows and proves how dysfunctional the policies are of the Democratic Party. I don't have to say more than Venezuela. Centralized government is a destructive force. We have seen it time and time and time and time again. And over 2 centuries ago, there were these founders of our country that wanted to create a nation where the individual is the strongest, and where dreams could come true, and where the caste system could be set aside, and there could be a massive middle class that want to work hard and earn what they get and prosper. And to see that dream and that vision be so threatened by a group of people that are careless and reckless and bent to destroy the foundation and the fundamentals that this nation is based on so that they could have what they've always had. It is the human experience to want to go to what is known, what is familiar, what is easy. It's not an easy thing to do, to take responsibility for yourself, for your life, but it is a task worth striving for, because in the end, the fulfillment that you get from earning something yourself. There is nothing like it. And it's so sad to see an emptiness and an anger and a bitterness that is on the left. And that can only come from a lack of ownership, from a victim mentality, from a entitled mentality. And just keep the faith in the road less traveled, which is that of liberty and justice for all. This is Tanya Crow with Mama Grizzly Radio.
Tanya Crow on Mama Grizzly Radio. More from the Crow's Nest next week.
Now, the Palin Update with Kevin Scholla presents Liberty and Legacy. Here's Tamara Colbert.
There is a deep fascist streak in American politics right now. Ironically, the fascism of today marches under the banner of anti-fascism and claims the moral credibility of anti-fascism, says Dinesh D'Souza in his new book, The Big Lie. This is not your grandparents' political parties any longer. The Democrats have denounced God for political icons. They've denounced Christianity and the church for global warming and environmental fascism. And they have tasted their ascension to the throne of tyranny and power under Obama. And they're mad as hell they lost the election. What are we talking about? We're talking about pathetic. Seriously, I can't even say it on radio what these people truly are. But what we are seeing unfold is not for the faint of heart. For those of you heroes, patriots, it is time to get on your armor of God because we are at war. It is we the people versus the deep state. And the Democrats and progressives, they are ready for battle. And to them, the battle's been going on for 75 years. Only now it's intensified. These Zelenskyites, they're on the move. Well, they were, at least until two things happened on November 8th, and that is that we the people rose up by the millions to tell them what we really thought of them. And Donald J. Trump became the 45th president of the United States. With utopia in the rearview mirror, they are insane. They can't let it go. Gone are the days when any of us could say, well, you beat us fair and square. Now let's work together on governing the country and doing what is best for the American people and our nation. Unless you and I unite under constitutional principles that our nation was founded upon, we are going to lose to these evil sub-creatures who believe the ends justify the means. And I mean, these people will stop at nothing to reclaim their power because they saw it. It was in their grasp. And if it wasn't for Donald J. Trump and you lousy Americans, we could have had this. We could have created our socialist utopia, right? They've tasted it. They've tasted that centralized state and getting buzzed on the dreams of our last president's father, where they believed they would be the sole beneficiaries of enjoying the spoils of an enslaved population. Let me remind you, Fox News isn't going to do it. The mainstream media isn't going to do it. And for heaven's sake, the Republicans on Capitol Hill won't do it. The Democrat Party is the party of racism. The Democrat Party is the party of slavery. The Democrat Party is the party of segregation. The Democrat Party is the party of Jim Crow laws. And the Democrat Party is the party of the Ku Klux Klan. As Dinesh D'Souza points out, this has been the Democrat Party for 150 years. But only they lie, they obfuscate, and they do everything in their power to drive a narrative of lies, of falsehoods, misleading information. And they've done it to destroy generations of Americans, and they've tried to destroy our nation. The reason the left appears to be winning is because they have redefined everything through Hollywood, the media, academia. And if we want a slim chance to beat them, to beat back this tyranny that is so close to taking over our nation, that we must now define the alternatives. We must take what they've done. Only we need to redefine at every turn what is great and honorable and right by being an American, by living in this country and what our founders have given to us. The problem that the Democrats have right now is called President Donald J. Trump. And I honestly don't think, and I certainly believe Trump had no comprehension or understood the lengths to which these evil subhumans would go to oust him from power and to think they can do this under the guise of taking that power back for themselves. They don't have any interest for the people. It is all about self. As the weekend began, even Congresswoman Maxine Waters, just when I think she can't stoop low enough, she came out and said publicly that the Democrats are starting with Trump, and once they take him out, they're going after the vice president. What is this? She has a lot of dang nerve. One of the most corrupt politicians on Capitol Hill. Maxine Waters, I'd just like to know how you purchased a $4.5 million home on a congressional salary of $175,000 a year. That's all. I'd love to see your tax returns, baby. The only way for Trump to win is to throw every resource that he has at his disposal at punishing and destroying and diminishing the Democrat Party. And I would start by firing everyone in the federal workforce. In fact, I'd shut off their card keys. So when on Monday morning, they'd come back to work thinking, la, 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 here we go. I'm going to Mr. and Mrs. Leaker sitting at their desk. What if they couldn't enter the building? And at 8:01, every single one of them received a text that said, you're fired. Then I'd incorporate the FBI and Department of Justice, forensic examiners, and I would have them investigate every government computer on leaks, memos, and the other dastardly stuff these arrogant, unelected, entitled liberal bureaucrats have left behind in their digital fingerprints. And then, simultaneously, I'd enjoy watching subpoenas go out to the Obama cabinet, to the Clintons. En masse. I am ready for President Trump to send a Trump-sized message to the left that they have messed with the wrong people. They have gone too far against the American people, and Trump is the man. There is no doubt to me that I believe God has raised up this man, Donald J. Trump, for this time to combat this evil, this cancer that is permeating the federal government. And this is what I love about the Convention of States Project, because Article 5 gives you and I, we the people, the opportunity to work simultaneously to flip the status quo on its butt. And then we need to do this now, because then the left is thinking they're taking out Trump, they're taking out Mike Pence. And do you know what they've got next? This isn't a joke. Your dog and your cat, they're coming after them. Oh, they might be cute and cuddly, but your dog and cat are planet-destroying creatures whose appetites for meat and their deadly feces threatens to kill all of us with deadly global warming. I can't make this up. This is true. This is what a study from UCLA's Institute of the Environment and Sustainability put out this week. The environmental impacts of food consumption by dogs and cats. Is this Ripley's Believe It or Not? Holy cow. Thankfully, this is Mama Grizzly Radio, and you're going to get truth. You're going to get plenty of dogs and cats and everything else. So, hey, in honor of global warming, take your dog out, walk him around the neighborhood, and let him poop somewhere and say, this one's for you, environmental wackos. I'm Tamara Colbert. This is Mama Grizzly Radio.
Tamara Colbert in Texas. Tune in for more Liberty and Legacy next week. And to learn about Convention of States, head to conventionofstates.com. The Palin Update, including Liberty and Legacy and The Crow's Nest, is on demand and available for download. So just head to mamagrizzlyradio.com, pick the show you want to hear, and you can listen anywhere, anytime. Well, that'll just about do it for this edition of the Palin Update on Mama Grizzly Radio. Visit mamagrizzlyradio.com for continuing coverage of Governor Palin. Also available at sarahpalin.com by clicking the More tab. Like Mama Grizzly Radio on Facebook and follow us on Twitter at Mama Grizz Radio, at Kevin Scholla, at Tamara Colbert, at Tanya Yoga 13, and at FBR ABQ. And I'm doing some writing for Breitbart News. Go to Breitbart.com/columnists/Kevin-Scholla. I'm also contributing to SarahPalin.com. Please check out my latest piece this week. Visit SarahPalin.com/author/Kevin-Scholla. So very honored to be working on the governor's new site. I want to thank Tamara Colbert, Tanya Crow, and everyone here at Mama Grizzly Radio. Thanks to Elizabeth Johnston, and thank you for listening today. A special thanks to our sponsor, Full Battle Rattle. Visit Facebook.com/Full Battle Rattle, ABQ. The Palin Update is produced by Lena Anderson, the Andy L. Kramer, and Lori Ann Lewis. Please be sure to join us again next time for another edition of the Palin Update right here on Mama Grizzly Radio. I'm Kevin Scholla. Have a pleasant day.